So this is my entry for Monday the 11th of Feb. This is our last day filming. I got a call sheet and the movement order on Sunday night, like every single time the night before, so I knew what was going to be happening in the day after. This was the spray painting day, so this was the on location shots, and then we went to EP afterwards to do some shots inside. So I got a taxi to the location at 8:45. The location was up a really big hill in the middle of Leeds, basically. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere. And it was just a big wall that had been graffitied on. And the crew had said that they'd already got permission and everything to graffiti on, and the only thing that was needed though, by law, you have to paint that entire wall that you want to graffiti on in white so that it's a blank canvas for you to graffiti on top. You are not allowed to graffiti on top of someone else's graffiti because it's disrespectful to their art. So I did get that at 8:45. Previous to this, the night before, Laura had mentioned Sam, who does the movement orders and the call sheets, had mentioned in the group chat that we have on Facebook that not a lot of the crew would be needed for the morning. It would be for the afternoon at EP because there wasn't a lot being filmed in the morning at the spray paint and wall. So I messaged Laura separately and said, since Sam has put this in, am I still needed for the spray painting portion of the day? And Laura said, yes, like, you are needed. So I said, that's completely fine. I will see you there in the morning. So like I said, I got there at 8:45. So this is the day that I was very annoyed. Obviously, like I said, I got there at 8:45, and when I had arrived, there was actually no actor there for me to do any makeup on. The only person that was getting filmed on these shots was James. So what was happening was a bit of a backstory. They had got a graffiti artist in that from the back looks like James, and they had him wearing his clothing that he would be wearing, and he would be graffitiing the wall because they were only doing shots from the back. And then when James comes, they would be taking shots of James's face. But like I said, the wall had to be painted before it was graffitied on. So there was no point in getting James, the actor, from the hotel yet, because they said it was cold and they were waiting until the graffiti had been done before they could take any shots. So I actually had to sit around in the cold on location where there was no seats, so I don't know why I said sitting. So I had to stand around on location for 2 hours doing absolutely nothing until they had got James from the hotel. And still then, they went to get James in the car, and they took the costume designer so that he could get changed at the hotel, but didn't offer to take me when I could have done his makeup at the hotel and it could have been done. It was just a bit annoying. I know it comes with the job, obviously, filming like on location. It's going to be cold, you have to wrap it warm. It's not a glamorous job. I totally know that. I have known that since starting this course. I have done a level 2, a level 3, a level 4 of this course. I know that it is not a glamorous job being on location filming when it's cold. However, I do think that this was very unorganised. They could have told me to come at the same time the actor would be coming, instead of me standing around just watching somebody literally paint a wall just white until I could do anything or be of assistance with anything. so that was slightly annoying. However, when James did get there, I styled his hair like mentioned previously, and just covered his blemishes, covered any dark circles that he had, powdered him, and we finished there. And I finished that hair and makeup at 11 a.m. and then we did the shots with James and we left and went to EP at 2. So, like I said, it only took me 45 minutes to do the makeup and the hair, but I had been there all day in the cold doing nothing. We had a lunch break from 2 till 3. After the lunch break, I touched up the makeup and hair, and that's when Dennis came. Dennis, I then just did exactly what I'd done the day before. This was the last day of filming, so like I said, he had to look quite tired, like quite run down. So I just used some pinky peachy toned eyeshadow and put that slightly underneath his eyes so he looked a little bit more worn out, a little bit more tired, and then just powdered him, put a little bit of dry shampoo through his hair, and then this was the day where Dennis was actually coughing up blood. So he coughed up blood into his handkerchief, that's the word I'm looking for, coughed up blood into his handkerchief, so I just needed a little bit of fake blood for that. I just dropped that on so that it looked as if it had been spat out, as if it had been coughed on. I just put a tiny bit on the inside of his lip here so that it looked as if it had come from his mouth. However, there was a little bit of a problem with this because they had got a red handkerchief to do this. The costume designer had got a red handkerchief for him to cough out blood onto, so the blood wasn't very prominent. You couldn't really see it on film. They should have used a white one, and I did speak to the director about this and said, you know, like, has anybody got anything else, like even a napkin or something, that would look better because it would have more of an effect. But she decided to go with the red one because she wanted a handkerchief, which is fair enough. It was her decision, and that was pretty much it for the day. That was the day that Dennis passed in the film, and then we wrapped the film. Everyone got pictures together, gave everyone a hug. Everyone said thank you for being there. Laura was very nice and said, you know, like, oh, thank you, like, we really appreciate you being here and doing this for us. You've done a really good job. And that was pretty much it. They did ask me along to go to the wrap party, which would be on the Wednesday, the 12th, 13th. But unfortunately I was at work, so I couldn't go to that. But they all seemed very lovely people. Obviously there was a few problems throughout the placement. I did get all of my placement hours. I think I got something like 34 in total or something when I added it all up. I will look into that a bit more. And I was quite happy with my experience. The only thing that I was a little bit sad about is the fact that I didn't have much makeup to do at all. It was nice being able to see how things were filmed and how things look on camera, and just like how, just what the behind the scenes are, really. It was a really nice insight, and everyone was lovely, like I'd already mentioned. Just I wish that I had a bit more makeup to be doing, as that is my job at the end of the day, and I was slightly bored. But that is pretty much it. So that is all of my video entries for my placement. I will be reflecting on all of these in reflecting models underneath. I will be adding all of my designs, all of my call sheets, all of my movement orders, the mood boards, and the photographs of the actors into the relevant areas of my blog. And that is pretty much it. So quite a positive experience overall. Just a few problems, and I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Thank you.